Can you tell us a little bit more about hiring process, about compensation, kind of your approach to taking care of these important employees for the business?
We compensate above market, above the typical laundromat pays. We also give vacation time. We get tips to the POS, and at the end of the month, actually, we distribute the tips. Credit to my wife, she's the one who manages the team, and I think she's really good at really paying attention at the attendant needs. Right? She really takes care of them like a family. I think it's a key factor.
I think it's always a challenge is how do you make the laundromat a good place to work? So when you took over the store, remind us about what kind of equipment updates or replacements you had to make. So I imagine some of the machines had to go.
Actually, in this case, no.
Okay.
Because this store was actually completely retooled in 2016.
Okay.
And we acquired in 2021. This store was a card-only store, but it used one of those chip cards that are extremely expensive, meaning that every time a customer will come and pull a card out of the BTM, we will be losing money. That was a key driver to change the payment system.
So the main reinvestment you made equipment-wise was not washers and dryers, but it was in the technology and the payment system to help you better manage the business. And let's say you have a machine breakdown out here on the floor today. What is the process that you go through to make sure that those repairs are getting made on a timely basis?
We have a group chat on WhatsApp where the attendants, as soon as there is a machine out of order, it goes into the WhatsApp group. And actually, our mechanic is part of that group.
This mechanic you've referenced, is that an employee of yours or an independent contractor?
It's an independent contractor.
Okay. Circle back and talk about your vend price strategy. We saw a little bit of that as we walked around and saw the machines. And why don't you kind of just open up on your vend price strategy and how you approach pricing the machines and getting what you need to cover your bills, but also make sure that you're keeping it affordable for customers. That's always a little bit of a balance that you have to.
There are some owners that look at, hey, these are my bills, I want a certain profit margin, that's my price. Okay. Right? We look at the competition, our tier to be higher than the competitors, meaning that we're fully air conditioned, we have free Wi-Fi, the store is always clean, it's fully attended, we offer drop-off service. When you compare a store, for example, to a store that is open, that has no AC, well, it's natural that we're going to command a higher price. Every time we increase prices, negative reaction has been, you can count with the fingers of your hand. It's really about the experience that customers have in an environment. That's why they come to us, not because of the price.
Yeah, I mean, people ask a lot about a cost per square foot, let's say, and I think it's better to look at it as an expense ratio. Like, is it 20% of your gross? Then you can probably you can deal with that. But if it's 30% of your gross, that's too much, and maybe 10 or 15% is going to be too good to be true.
Yeah, when you look at the list, everything, you got to look at the location.
Right.
Because if your rent is high, you can work in the top line, right, to actually adjust the expense ratio. You cannot change the location.
Right.
And if you have a store that is not in a main, very dense street or highway or what have you, that has a lot of traffic, you're always going against the current. You're always fighting to pull customers in, while if you are in, if you have a very good exposure, it just happens naturally.
Location is number one, and I'm looking out the window here and just seeing cars after cars after cars go by, and all the parking that you have. And so like you said, that's one thing you can definitely rely on.